This is a 1971 Datsun 521 pickup. This thing has been on our channel for quite some time. We have an entire video series on this thing, from the day we dragged it home to the first start to the first drive, and all the things that we've done along the way. If some of you haven't seen that series, I'll go ahead and link that up here in case you want to go see the progress on this thing. So we're near the end of the line on projects for this little truck, and a couple of the last little items on my list are the weather strip for the door and the paint cleanup a little bit. Now, if you remember on the last video that I did on this little truck, which I'll link right up here, we put some carpet in here, put some sound deadener down, made a huge difference. The thing is, I mean, it's unbelievable how much quieter it is now that it's all kind of sealed up. You can actually have a conversation in here, and that's good. Figure the weather strip couldn't possibly hurt. You know, it's kind of dry and cracked and gross anyway, so we're going to take care of that. Scored some on eBay for relatively cheap out of Thailand. I'll show you where I got that as we go. As far as the paint goes, I think I want to just rub some patina, what do you call that, patina preserver on it, and just make it look a little bit shinier, a little bit, give it a little bit of a sheen, and that should help out, you know, as far as the looks of the truck goes. Also, it'll bring this red out, make it a little bit, you know, make it kind of pop, right? Lastly, I've got a turn signal on the passenger side that is intermittent, and I've fixed it about 42 times and it keeps on becoming intermittent. So we're going to tear this thing apart and we're going to fix it once and for all, and you know, kind of make it look a little more beautiful while we're at it. So anyway, when all that's said and done, we're going to take a ride down the road and see how much quieter it is, and just kind of enjoy a country back road or two in this little truck, since it's so pretty outside today. So you guys make sure you stick around to the end of the video, and welcome to Project Time Garage. This weather strip on the top isn't so bad, but it's getting really hard. It gets worse the further you go down, and when you get down to you know, to this part, it's just in really bad shape. A lot of it's just completely missing. Well, this is the weather strip kit that I got. You can see that's the part number and the manufacturer and all that. They even wrote, that is Sharpie, boys and girls. That is some fancy Sharpie writing. Looks like calligraphy. Fancy. I picked these up on eBay. I'll drop a link down in the video description where I got these. I don't have any sponsorship or anything. I literally don't even know. I assume they're going to fit because they're supposed to be for a 520 or 521 pickup. So we're going to learn together. Don't rush out and buy these until you see what they look like on my truck. Let's open up the bag and see what we've got. Doesn't say anything about drivers. Yeah, it does. So it says pretty clearly that this is 520 or 521 left hand or right hand, so they must be universal. Very supple. I guess that's the corner. Okay, well, let's get the old one off and see about putting the new one on. Now, the first thing we have to do is get all this old stuff off of here. And some of it looks like it's stuck pretty good, and then other pieces of it looks like maybe it's not stuck all that good. Well, maybe it'll all come off that easy. I seriously doubt that, though. Okay. Looks like it stuck better on the back side than it did on the front side. But before we get too zealous, we're going to have to remove this, and we're probably going to have to pull these screws out of the kick panel just to free ourselves up a little room to work. then I'll bet we're gonna have to do something about this. This is a straight up hole. I don't know if this is a, that almost looks like a bullet hole to me. Maybe not. It's actually protruding out this way. But what's interesting is, look right here. It's a half moon in that door right there. And the pinch weld has been out some, so we'll have to take care of that. Anyway, let me grab a screwdriver and I'll get these things off. Then we'll see about taking the rest of this weather strip off the door. Here's something interesting. This is a place for a door jamb switch, I guess for the dome light possibly. And here is a wire, and when I pull it, you can hear it's up there somewhere. I don't know if these things were provisioned with a dome light ever or not, but it seems to me that if the wire runs right through there in that vicinity, looks like it might be pretty easy to just put a door pin switch there and make it go. Might try to do that. One thing I've found kind of helpful in trying to get this stuff off, if you notice, it's not glued very much to the pinch weld. Instead, it's glued up there. So one of the things that I have done is just take this paint scraper and just run all the way around it really well, and then it kind of helps it peel off. This stuff's old and brittle, so it's going to come off in chunks for sure. That's just part of it, I guess. Slower does seem to work better. It's like it gives the adhesive just enough time to sort of stretch, come to terms. Anyway, a whole bunch more of this. Here's a piece of information that might be helpful regarding orientation. If you look at this, this goes on the outside, so the door closes against this, and the closer gap fits on the pinch weld. You can even look inside and you can see it has little ridges. Those ridges aren't for flavor. Those ridges are to hold that goop that we're going to put on there here in a minute. So thing is, you can kind of look at this side versus this side and see that this is a little shinier than this, and that's because I cleaned this side with just wax and grease remover. And the reason I did that is because I learned from the other side that this stuff has some kind of a chemical, probably like a mold release agent in it, and the 3M Weatherstrip adhesive doesn't want to stick to it very well. And this is what I'm using to put it on there. Just 3M black Weatherstrip adhesive. You can get it at any auto parts store out there. So here's the thing with that. I did the other side first because I always do that when I'm filming, so I can figure out where the shortcuts are and where the mistakes are, because it helps me tell you guys, hey, don't do what I did. And that's one of the things that I did. Two things I didn't do. I didn't clean the pinch weld side of this with wax and grease remover, and I should have. And it wasn't readily apparent to me right off the crack of the bat that this was one-way channel. I mean, now that I look at it, it makes perfect sense. Luckily, I didn't put it on wrong, but I was test fitting it up there, and I'm like, ha, I see. So maybe that'll save somebody else. Anyway, the instructions on this stuff basically says to squirt a little dab of it on the pinch weld and smear it around, and then squirt a little dab of it inside your rubber, smear it around, wait some amount of time until it's tacky, and then send it home. So unlike the other side, I'm going to do this side in sections, because I tried to put it on the whole thing last time, and it ended up getting too far dried before I got worked all the way around it, because it takes a while to put this in here and spread it around, and put this on there and spread it around on both sides of that pinch weld. I mean, you're talking 10-15 minutes by the time you're done. So when you come back wherever you started on this thing, well, that's dry already. It's not good. So let's do this. I'm going to start on this corner up here. Maybe the thing to do is come down to like maybe about the door strike and go ahead and get all my stuff applied and get this ready to roll, and then we'll stick this section of it. Once we're done with that, we'll come back and we'll probably do the top part and, you know, do it in like maybe 5 or 6 sections. All right, I have my 3M adhesive, my smearing apparatus, and a strong desire to make this work. So we're just going to put, you're not supposed to put very much of this stuff on there from what I'm understanding. It's supposed to be a really thin coat. And I'm going to work some into that corner there. This is probably too much, but it's the story of my life. I'm going to put a little bit just right across the top here too, just so I can, you know, make that stick. Let's see. Okay, well, that's on there. It could be neater, but it's on there. Next thing I'm going to do is find the proper corner here. That's this corner, and I'm just going to run some of it in there. Got to be careful that I don't go too far with it. I want to go down to about right here, so maybe what I should do is start from where I want to end up and then work to where I want to be. Okay, there we go. I lost my smearing apparatus, but I found another one. So I'm just gonna take all this and just kind of smear it around on here. Evidently, it's important not to get too much of it, from what I understand. If you get too much of it, it will kind of bubble over and haze over and just in general not do what you want it to do. So there's that. All right, that should be sufficiently spread around in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit up here on this corner too. Up here it's already tacky somewhat. Yeah, it's actually, it doesn't even come off on your finger anymore. So I wonder if I'm okay to just go ahead and stuff this up here. One of the problems is it's extremely heavy and it's pulling down on it. So I wonder if I can just put this up here and sort of hold it in place while I feed this thing on. I don't know if I waited long enough or if I waited too long, or I have no idea. We're learning together on this one. Oh my gosh, I went backwards with it. I went the wrong way because I'm an idiot. Look at that. Don't be like me, kids. Don't be like me. This is how it should be going, like so. That's pretty crazy that I did that, but it's easily corrected. All right, so we have here and around done. Just go ahead and maybe work the rest of the way down here, possibly, I guess. I don't know. Just trying to be careful not to disturb it, not to pull on it. Certainly don't want it to fall. Has some really strange properties to it. It's not really a paste. It's very strange stuff here. It's kind of gooey and it kind of like is stringy. Hard to work with, to say the very least. To say the very least. It definitely doesn't like sticking to this rubber at all. It wants to just like slide around on top of it, even after cleaning it really, really well with wax and grease remover. And there's still spots of this right here that don't have anything at all on it, and I'm gushing it. So be careful of that. Okay. There's that. All right, let's see if it goes together now. But I can tell you that hard to work with and be neat is his biggest problem with it. This glue doesn't really want to stick, and the rubber kind of wants to not do anything you want it to do, so it's all fun. There we go. All right. All right. Not bad, not bad. One of the things you got to watch out for is this stuff likes to twist and turn real bad, and it makes it harder to work with. So there's that. My dashboard fits really close right here, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put this thing up to where it needs to be trimmed. And I'm just going to trim a little bit around that. Okay, I wonder if it's dry enough to actually pull this off. Hopefully. Well, I guess we will work it on down. Use my spreader here to re-spreader it out some. There we go. Probably way too much, and it's probably going to squirt out, and I'm probably going to have to find a way to clean it up. But for right now, it's there. Yeah, it's way too much, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's the finished product. Came out pretty good, I'd say. The one thing that's a little strange is it keeps getting like bent right here, and it's because of where the door catches it. The door catches it in such a way that it just wants to roll it that way. I'm not sure what you do about that, but anyway, there's some door seals put in. Overall, they fit pretty good. Got a little bit of grossness right there, but overall, there it's there. It's not going to go anywhere. And when you close the doors, you can't just close them anymore. You have to actually close them. Take a ride later and see how it works out. Well, now that that's done, there is one more thing I want to do to it. I've long said that I want to do something about the paint on it. You know, somebody sprayed this thing with tractor paint, and you can see that it's, you know, it's kind of flaky and fuzzy and kind of wanting to come off. So I think what I'm going to do is, at the risk of going too far, I'm going to take some 800 grit or black Scotch-Brite and get the water running, and I'm just going to lightly Scotch-Brite the whole truck and get whatever I can get off of that. And then we're going to come back with some of this sweet patina. Puddin over at Puddin's Fab Shop, who apparently is the reigning Datsun king, evidently. He's got a few little trucks over there that he's done this with, and it really looks good. You know, I thought about the whole DIY boiled linseed oil and whatever else. I'm like, you know what, let's just go buy the stuff. So that's what I did. So we're going to learn how to do that together. I guess the first thing we're going to do is get the water running and maybe get set up with some Scotch-Brite pads and Scotch-Brite the whole truck. Let's get about that. Does a pretty good job on this rust too. Well, the instructions say to pour some of this on a rag and smear it around till you like how it looks. Pretty easy instructions. I don't think it takes a whole lot of this stuff to go a long way, probably. Let's see here. Sure smells good, I know that. I can tell a difference. It says 15-20 minutes cure time. I think what we're going to do is do this side of the hood, and then we'll go all the way around the truck, and by the time that's dry, I might start over here again, see what two coats looks like. A little bit of this is going to go a long way. Well, let's see the other side of the hood. I just wanted to leave this undone just to see what the contrast would be, how much it actually helped. Answer, a lot. Well, after 15-20 minutes, we're supposed to take a dry cloth and just kind of buff off the excess sauce. I'm just going to buff lightly because I kind of like the shine. Really love how that came out. That is really, really nice. Awesome sheen, just an awesome sheen. You know, another thing that I'm going to look at while I'm working on this, I had to take this apart to work on the one of the turn signals, and I figure while I'm this far in it, I may as well break this thing apart, wash it, and maybe repaint the inside more reflective. So let's do that. Yuck. Super yuck. This is the reverse light hole. This is the metallic silver kind of chrome paint. should be more reflective now, at least. Semi-gloss black engine paint. There, that's a much better light. Not perfect, but looks a ton better than it did. Tail lights came out pretty good too. Much cleaner. With all that taken care of, let's take it up the road, see what it sounds like. I need to go to the store anyway and get some gas for my mower. Ran out this morning mowing the yard, and we'll see if it's any quieter. So let's go for a ride. Okay, we have gotten fuel. Let's take a ride. Let's close the windows. See how quiet it actually is. Windows shut. I have a whistle somewhere. I don't know where that's at, but it's actually a lot quieter even now. I think my whistle is up here with one of these windows somewhere. I'll be working that out. It's amazing with just the wing windows, the vent windows. It is just tons cooler in here. Go this way. We'll take a I wish there was one more gear here. It'd be awesome. Actual speed here is just about 55 or so. And it's about 3,500 RPMs at 55. Okay, are you ready for the big reveal? Let's take a walk around and look at this truck. Man, it just looks awesome. So come on. Well guys, there's your finished product. That is pretty much how I'm gonna leave this thing from now on. Maybe a few little things to do. Maybe windshield wiper motor, I gotta investigate that. But all in all, the big projects are basically done. Now, obviously, I say that looking at the seat, knowing it's an absolute disaster. I'm probably gonna have someone do the seat, but if something else major comes up down the road, I'll probably go ahead and do a video on that. But I think at this point here, we're just gonna drive it and enjoy it. Everywhere I go, the thing gets just tons of comments. Everybody wants to stop and look at it. And I think this patina, this sweet patina sauce really just lit the truck up. It looks completely different this afternoon than it did this morning. So with that said, guys, as usual, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about us, and guys, I'll see you next time.